found this cool little boat. I don't know how it made it up here, but you can tell it's been here for quite a while. It has dirt inside of it. So it was a nice area for me to just chill and give you guys an update of my day. Here I am still in Seoul, Korea. Behind the camera there's the Han River, but the coolest thing here is this building right about there somewhere. It's there. It's actually the tallest skyscraper here in South Korea. It's called Building 63. So you can guess why. It has 63 floors. There's actually an observation deck somewhere that I'm trying to get to, but it's super cloudy today, so they actually recommended not to pay and maybe try tomorrow. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys an update about my day today. We drove up to the DMZ, and just in general it takes about an hour to get there, but you stop along the way. We stopped at a theme park. At that theme park you can actually get a glimpse of the Freedom Bridge, on the South Korean side. It's made out of wood, and then there's a barricade that has ribbons and notes, etc. If you were to get past that barricade, it's actually exactly where the DMZ is. So it's all fenced out. You cannot get past it, which is where the North Korean returned these thousands of POWs back to South Korea after the war ended. And then there's also a nice little cool building that they call the Peaceville, or houses the Peaceville. And the Peaceville is supposed to, it's a symbol of a unity. It is believed that most of them believe in unifying and becoming one Korea again. They believe that it'll help their economy, etc. After that theme park, we actually proceeded to the military checkpoint where they check your passport, make sure that you're not coming from one of the restricted countries, etc. And then you get into the restricted civilian area. There's a 6-kilometer gap between that checkpoint and the DMZ where not all civilians are allowed. Then there's the 4-kilometer buffer, the DMZ South Korean side fence, and north there's a 4-kilometer gap. It's now a natural preserve. That's where no military soldiers can actually be in. There's no weapons whatsoever. Some of the attractions that we're going to see is the third infiltration tunnel. There's actually 4. This one is 75 meters deep. I mean, think about it. That's 225 feet in the ground. The North Koreans believe that it's a natural tunnel, so they actually deny the claim that North Korea created that post the war. Yeah, one interesting fact about the drive up there is that you drive along the Hangang River, and the whole way up there, the river on both sides has fences, barbed wires, military posts, and it's to prevent the North Koreans from actually coming into South Korea. It has been known that North Korean military spies have even gone underwater coming to South Korea. So they are very strict about, keeping their border safe. But it's an interesting fact because it's a border within its country, right? The whole fence spans down into Seoul, which is about 50 kilometers or whatever, right? So it's a long way. So again, the DMZ is a 4-kilometer buffer zone where no military operations are allowed. And the interesting fact is that it was an agreement between both countries to have that buffer zone, but the war never actually ended. They're actually still at war. Technically, they're still at war. What I experienced in the DMZ, there wasn't any tensions. There was hardly any soldiers whatsoever. So they call it the most dangerous border in the world. And I actually didn't think it was the most dangerous border in the world. I guess if you cross into the DMZ, or maybe even, if you're able to trek the 2 miles into North Korea, I don't know how you would be able to do that. Then obviously it's super dangerous. But us going to the fence itself wasn't dangerous at all. There's actually a train station that we visited too, and the train station unifies, the north and the south. I'm inside the Dorasan train station. Behind me you can see the immigration center, unused, unoccupied. This is a train station that would load and offload passengers headed to North Korea. Between the years of 2002 and 2016, the South Koreans operated in North Korea. So you ask how that may be. The South Korean investors opened a commercial complex in the north, so north of the DMZ, north of the buffer, and they employed, I believe, 59,000 North Korean workers to come work in that complex. And I guess they had factories, etc. And they had 800 managers, South Korean managers, that needed to go to North Korea to supervise the workers. Well, they invested millions in this train that was supposed to start unifying the two. But we believe that, you know, South Koreans and North Koreans are constantly fighting, and the reality is that while we may perceive that from the other side of the world, the reality is that it's not really evident here. Maybe things are happening in the background that we don't see, right? But as you're, you know, navigating the country, there's no sign of tension. So that's a rather interesting fact that I was glad to have experienced. Alright, here I am in the third infiltration tunnel that led from North Korea down to South Korea, about 63 kilometers south to Seoul, South Korea. It's very impressive. We went down into the tunnel. We have to walk down about 200 meters to get to the tunnel that's buried 75 meters deep. I mean, just think about that. That's 225 feet or something like that. So it's way underneath ground, and you walk in through the tunnel and all you see is rock all around you. So it's impressive how they were able to get all the way down there and dig that tunnel. There's actually 4 tunnels discovered. They're still looking for more. They believe there's more. And what they've done is they've put a set of blockades, concrete blockades in the tunnels to prevent the North Koreans from coming back in. All right, from here on out, we're gonna head over to the Dora Observatory and see what kind of footage we can get. Here I am at the observatory, checking out North Korea from the distance with these telescopes.
I was so sure of our love. I never thought of any reason, a doubt about us, and now I'm right back at the start. Halfway through a bottle, baby, and nothing to know. I thought that I could keep it low, take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy, take it easy.
Let's go. Well, how do you say it in Korean?
Just like before, so take it easy.